The hallway went silent the moment she walked in. Lina. The new girl. Black boots, braided hair, and eyes that held stories no one dared to ask about. She had transferred to Brookdale High in the middle of the semester, something that rarely happened unless there was a reason. And there was. Nobody knew it yet, but Lina had been forced to switch schools after an incident in her last one. Something big. Something the administration had quietly covered up. Her records were clean, but her past wasn't. She didn't come to Brookdale to make friends. She came to disappear. But high school doesn't let you disappear. Not when you look like her. Not when you're different. At first, it was just stares. Then came the whispers. Why does she dress like that? Why doesn't she talk to anyone? Maybe she thinks she's better than us. She ignored them. That's what she was taught to do. Her mother's words echoed in her mind every morning, be silent. Be still. Let them talk. But never let them touch. But they did. And that was their biggest mistake. It happened during lunch. Lina had just left the cafeteria and was walking down the empty hall toward the restroom when they cornered her. 3 boys, Derek, Caleb, and Trent. The kind of boys who thought their arrogance was funny and their cruelty was harmless. Hey, new girl, Derek smirked, stepping in front of her. You dropped something, your attitude. Lina didn't answer. She tried to step around him, but Caleb blocked her. You don't talk much, huh? He said, circling her slowly. Bet you think you're too good for us. She kept her hands at her sides. Her heart was steady. Her breath even. But her eyes were watching everything. And then it happened. Trent, the tallest of the 3, reached out and tugged at her skirt. Not hard, just enough to lift it slightly. Enough to humiliate her. Enough to make the other 2 laugh. The sound echoed like a slap in the empty hallway. That was the moment the air shifted. Lina didn't scream. She didn't flinch. She moved. Her hand shot out, grabbed Trent's wrist mid-laugh, twisted it so fast it cracked before he even realized what happened. He dropped to his knees, gasping in pain. Derek tried to grab her shoulder. She spun around, elbowed him in the jaw, then took his arm and yanked it behind his back with a snap. He screamed. Caleb froze. She stepped toward him slowly, eyes calm, breath quiet. I told myself I wouldn't fight anymore, she said. But you touched me. He bolted, slipping on the hallway floor as he ran. Seconds later, teachers came running. They found 2 boys writhing on the floor, clutching their wrists, and a girl standing over them, calm, silent, still. Lina was suspended. Again. But this time, it didn't go unnoticed. A girl who had witnessed everything had recorded the entire thing from the end of the hall. The video showed the boys laughing, reaching for her skirt, and what followed. It went viral. Not just in school, but across the internet. Thousands of comments. Thousands of shares. Good for her. Finally, someone stood up. Don't mess with quiet girls. Lina became a name. But not the kind she wanted. The principal called her in after the suspension. Told her they couldn't ignore what she did, even if it was in self-defense. She looked him straight in the eye and said, if I let them do that, what would happen next? A tug today. A grab tomorrow. I didn't fight for me. I fought for the next girl. He didn't have an answer. After she returned, things changed. Some students were scared of her. But others, especially the quiet ones, looked at her like she was a hero. She didn't try to make friends. But a few found her anyway. Girls who had been groped, bullied, cornered in stairwells and didn't know how to fight back. She started teaching them. Not how to attack, but how to defend. How to stand tall. How to say no and mean it. She started an after-school self-defense club. It didn't have funding, or a name, or uniforms. But every week, more and more students showed up. And Lina, finally, felt like she wasn't running anymore. She was building something. Not revenge. Not fear. Power. For others like her. Because the truth is, the world teaches girls to be silent. To smile through discomfort. To avoid making a scene. But Lina made a scene. And 3 broken wrists later, she made a statement. Touch a girl without her consent, and you'll regret it. Moral of the story. Respect is not optional. Silence is not weakness. And the ones you think are soft are often made of steel.